So far, I've made a fair amount of burgers here on this channel, but up until now, I haven't made a burger's perfect companion, French fries. I think it's time we change that. So today we are gonna make some low-calorie, crispy, and delicious air-fried French fries. If you wanna know how to make them, it's coming up right now on The Cog is Shred. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is John, and I've lost over 130 pounds naturally by changing my habits, and here on this channel, I'm sharing some recipes that can help you to lose weight and keep it off. So today, we are turning this potato into French fries. Now, I have looked through lots of different brands of frozen fries at the store, and even the lowest calorie ones I could find still have more calories than a potato. Potatoes are naturally low in calories. It's all the other stuff you add to them that adds all the excess calories. So, we are gonna make it from scratch in the air fryer. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get cooking. So start off by getting yourself one decent sized russet potato. This is long enough to make some nice fries. This one here weighs about 300 grams. Make sure you wash it and peel it. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this potato. Get all the skin off. You can make fries with skin on. I've done it plenty of times, but I wanna do more of a traditional style French fry without the skin. And that looks pretty good. All right, once your potato is peeled, you're gonna wanna cut it into fries. You can use a knife. I've got this French fry cutter over here. You don't need that. I'm using it because I have it, and this thing also cuts them all into the same even width, but a knife works just fine. Anyway, let's cut this thing. I put the potato in here. All right, there we go, and now that's already cut into even slices for my French fries. Look at that, quick and easy. Now, before we air fry these, we're actually gonna boil them in water for a little bit. So I've got a pot of water here, it's already heating up, and I'm going to add some white vinegar. You can add maybe 2 tablespoons, I don't usually measure it out. The vinegar is going to help keep them from getting mushy. If you boil potatoes to mash, it breaks them down and they get really, really soft. If you add the vinegar in there, it actually helps them to keep their structure just a little bit better. So we add a little vinegar, also gonna add a little bit of salt. That's just going to help give them a little flavor. They're gonna absorb that salt. I don't usually measure that, I just add it all in. All right, let's go ahead and add our potatoes to the water so they can boil. And as you can see, I put these in before the water started boiling. You don't have to wait for it to come to a full boil. Just go ahead and put them in. It's gonna heat up and it's gonna start boiling at some point.
A few moments later.
Okay, the water's starting to boil. I'm gonna reduce the heat because I don't want this to boil over. Every now and then, just give them a little stir. I'm gonna let them sit here, I'd say at least 10 minutes, 10 to 15. I like to let them get nice and cooked on the inside. That way they'll be so soft but crispy on the outside when they cook. It comes out really nice.
A few minutes later.
Okay, these are ready, so let's take them off the heat, turn off the stove, and I'm gonna come over to the sink and we are going to strain and rinse these in cool water. All right, well those are looking pretty good. I'm gonna dab these with a paper towel to try to get some excess water off. And now we're gonna transfer these onto some paper towels because we really want these as dry as we can get them. So I've made sure none of these are overlapping. Gonna grab some more paper towels and put them on top here. I'm just gonna try to get as much water off as I can. It's not gonna be perfect, doesn't have to be perfect. Roll these around just a little bit. Be careful not to break them. Okay, well that seems pretty good right there. Well, now we're gonna put our fries into a mixing bowl, and I wanna make sure this is about 250 grams or as close to that as I can get.
Chom.
There, that's perfect. All right, so here we have 250 grams of boiled potatoes. Next, let's add some 0-calorie cooking spray. I know there are actually a few calories in here, so I try to be careful with this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these, spray a little more, toss them again. Okay, that's good. So next I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic salt. I don't usually measure, I just sprinkle, but I've got the scale here. So I just put 3.5 grams of garlic salt. I feel like adding a little black pepper. You don't have to do that, but that's just what I'm doing. And that's just a little bit, it's like 0.3 grams. And I like smoked paprika, so I'm gonna add some of that for flavor as well. That right there, about 0.5 gram. Okay, so once again, I'm going to toss these. Try to get them evenly coated as best I can. And this is why we added that vinegar. These are shaking and being tossed around, but they're not breaking. If I hadn't put the vinegar, these would probably snap in half very easily. They still could snap in half if I'm not careful, but it really helps them to maintain that structure and not be so easily breakable. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna add something that might sound a little unusual. I'm adding baking powder. What this is gonna do is just help this to have that crispy exterior that we want. The nice thing is baking powder is 0 calories. So I've added about 5 grams of baking powder, and once again, shake, toss, coat. A little bit more of the olive oil cooking spray. I wanna make sure these get crispy. And that's it. These are now ready to air fry. I've got my air fryer set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna cook these for about 20 minutes. Go ahead and take the fryer basket, and I'm just gonna put these fries right on in, and I'm gonna try to spread these out so they have enough air and space between them so everything gets hit by that hot air. That way they get nice and crispy. If they're stuck together, if they're touching, then you might have some areas that don't get crispy, and we don't want that. That's good. Let's start cooking these.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so we've got 12 and a half minutes left. These are not done yet. I'm just gonna take these and shake them around. I wanna move them around because I don't want them to stay on one side the entire time. Oh shoot, one's getting a little broken. Be gentle because they can break easily. I just broke one, but hey, it's just one. All right, and back in we go.
1 eternity later.
Okay, so we got about 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. Once again, taking these out, gonna toss them around one more time. They are coming together nicely. This is just about where we want them. I'm gonna give them one more spray and put these back in for the last 6 minutes and 45 seconds. There we go.
Many months later.
And these fries are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour these into a bowl. Ooh, look at that. Woo.
Ooh, this is nice! Girl!
Last thing I'm gonna do, one last little sprinkle of garlic salt and a little parsley just as a garnish.
Now let's just add a porcelain tear for decoration.
That is that. And here we are, everyone. These lovely homemade air-fried low-calorie French fries. These things are so tasty and addictive. Look at that. Got a nice crispy texture. This is one that actually got a little bit chipped, but you can see the crispiness on it.
And then add a crumb crisp coating. That's tough, crumb crisp coating.
Let me just give this a try and see how crispy it is. Nice little crisp on it. I like the seasoning. The flavor is good. They're not super oily or greasy. Soft on the inside, but crisp on the outside. You can enjoy these plain if you want, or have a little bit of Heinz no sugar added ketchup. That is a winning combination. Okay, so before I devour these, let me go over the macros. So, for this entire 250 gram serving of French fries, we are looking at 185 calories. That is insane. Now, I do have to say, the cooking spray says 0 calories, but it does have oil. It adds up to some degree. I'm not sure how much. It's a minimal amount. So it may be closer to 200, but just going off of the nutrition label, 185. You could I would round up to 200 just to be safe, but going off the labels, 0 calories on the baking powder, 0 calories on the spray. The potatoes boiled, 185. 40 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein. That, you can't beat that. You cannot find fries this low in calories anywhere you go. If you go to get them at a restaurant or fast food, or you're not gonna find 185 calorie French fries. And this is only 20 calories for 2 tablespoons of the no sugar added ketchup. This is all you're ever gonna need. And if you pair these fries with one of my low-calorie burgers and a Coke Zero, you've got yourself a super low-calorie fast food meal. Anyway, speaking of meals, I am going to enjoy this meal. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to the Kage Shred for more recipes and other videos related to my weight loss and fitness journey. If you have any suggestions for recipes you might like to see in the future, leave them in the comments and let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you all so much, and as always, keep on eating.